My name is Tanya. I am a certified public accountant, CPA, and I'm here to impart some tax and accounting knowledge to you all to hopefully clear away any, clutter and understand and get clarity around this stuff. And I will be sharing my screen today to show you some stuff. But then also I've got this cool little whiteboard in the background that hopefully I can use at some point. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I can write on it. And no, you can't really see it. I'm gonna have to figure that out and get closer or something. Anyways, we might be able to use it at some point. So today I want to talk about Airbnb stuff. I had a question from Carrie asking me about this, and so I thought I'd talk about it. But first, do you know what Airbnb stands for? Anybody? Airbnb stands for air, bed, and breakfast. Did you know that? Did you know that in the beginning, the idea was to get an air bed, put it in your home, and charge people to sleep on this air bed? So that's where Airbnb came from. It was an air bed and breakfast. And now it's evolved into this billion-dollar business. And people are renting out parts of their homes and doing Airbnb. So, when you do that, what can you do? Can you claim that on your taxes? What can you do? Well, you can. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. But first, I'm going to talk about this 1099K, because that is what they would send you when you rent out part of your home and you earn income. This is what they would send you. But right now, this 1099K, which Airbnb uses, which PayPal uses, Etsy, if you're selling things on Etsy, you're not going to get this form. And I'm going to show it to you in a second. You're not going to get this form unless you make over $20,000 and you do over 200 transactions in the year. So that's the rule right now. So this is going to change, though. This is going to change in 2022. So not this year, next year. You're going to get this form if you do over $600 worth of transactions. So if you rent out a part of your home, if you sell something on PayPal, if you sell something on Etsy, and you receive more than $600, you're going to get this form. So you're going to have to report it on your taxes. And this is what it looks like. I'm just going to give you an example of an actual 1099K that I got for somebody for 2020. And you're going to see a bunch of stuff on here. You don't have to worry about all this stuff. You don't have to worry about, all the months and everything. The only thing you have to worry about is box 1. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Box 1, right here, gross amount of payment card transactions. So this total number is the only thing you have to worry about on this 1099K. Everything else, do not worry about it. But you're going to have to report this as income to you if, you rent out a part of your home. So that's what a 1099K is. And this leads me to the question that I got from Carrie, because she obviously didn't get a form. So she's like, what should I do? Should I report it? Well, if the IRS doesn't know that you got this income. So technically, if you don't do anything, nothing's going to happen because the IRS has no idea unless you report it. So one of the reasons why I think it's a good idea to report it if you do Airbnb is because you'll be able to write off a bunch of other stuff from your home that you normally wouldn't be able to. So let me show you. this goes into a rental activity. So as you can see, this is a little example of rental property expense allocation. So let's say your home is 2,000 square feet. Let's say you're renting out a room and maybe, they get to use the living room and the kitchen and all that stuff. So let's say 600 square feet of your house you're renting it out to Airbnb people. Well, guess what? 29% of your home you can write off as a rental activity, and it shows up on the Schedule E on your taxes. So, for example, let's say you're charging $700 a month. That's your rental income. But guess what? If you have maybe homeowners insurance, which you should have homeowners insurance. Maybe you have some repairs, utilities, water, gas, electric, all that stuff. Maybe you have some housekeeping. You have your mortgage interest, you have your property taxes. Well, all that times your rental portion, which is 29%, gives you all these expenses that you can write off. So a portion of it will be able to go against your rental activity for mortgage interest, and then the rest of it goes as an itemized deduction on Schedule A. So you don't get to lose, you still get to write off all your mortgage interest and property taxes. It's just like allocated differently. So then there's also depreciation, which depending on the value, the building value of your home, it does a calculation and it takes a certain amount. And this is done through the tax return, so that you can't figure out. You have to do it in the tax return. But guess what? Now you have a rental loss of $6,000. This will reduce your taxable income and help save you some money on taxes. Yeah, you have to report your rental income, but you get to write off all these other things. And normally you would only be able to do this. These are the only two things you can write off if you're a homeowner, unless you use a little part of it for rental. So that is my little teaching and training on Airbnb. If you rent out a little portion of your home for Airbnb, and the tax form that is required, which is changing for 2022, anything over $600, you're going to get this form. That's it. That was my little teachings on that. Rental activity stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. Next week or the week after, I'm going to do something. I'm going to talk about like things that you don't know that you should know. Kind of like, did you know how this works? Do you know how these things work? And I'm going to be doing little different topics. Like, do you know how your taxable income works? Do you know how your taxes work? Do you know how your standard deduction works? Do you know how your finances work? Do you know how your profit works? Do you know how your gross profit works? Do you know how your financials work? So all this stuff I'm excited to talk about, and it will be coming. So stay tuned for the next live streams. Hope you all are having a great day. A great April so far. I can't believe it's April. Yeah, have a good one. Talk to you later.